This is the Nomestia podcast, where we return to home as a pace. You are welcome here.
Where are we this week, Naomi?
We're still in Spain, and we're questioning whether we've made good life choices being in 38-degree heat in a van without aircon.
It's definitely starting to, like we've been saying right from the beginning on the podcast, it's like we're looking for the heat. We're definitely starting to get to the other side of, it's a bit much.
What we talk about this week then?
We're just going to discuss van life, really, because we don't try and make that the focus of the podcast, but actually it is interesting because obviously there's a lot of van life and a lot of people do turn to van life. But we were going to talk about it from the perspective of family van life.
Yeah.
And like the realities of that and how easy / difficult that is. Probably good to dive in and say, why did we choose van life? Obviously we've sort of touched on it in the past, but why did we want to do van life for our family at the time that we did it? It was obviously coming off the back of putting children out of school. We were looking to try and do something different. We sold our house. We were looking at different options, but van life seemed from the outside to be sort of the best way to maximize experiences in a sort of way that didn't break the bank, basically.
Yeah.
Because obviously we had sort of equity when we sold the house, so we kind of wanted to, and obviously we knew that we were going to use some of that and invest some of that in, this van life experience. But we obviously wanted to make sure that went as far as possible. And doing it like this felt like that would be the way to do it.
There are plenty of people that travel without a van, like they go to hotels and they fly and they do that for some of the year, and then the other half they live somewhere. But for me, when I looked at the financial cost of that, I think because we have 3 children, plus obviously we have the cat and the dog, they definitely came into the equation for van life because we knew that we could bring the cat and dog with us with ease.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be so complicated. I don't think financially it works out. Also trying to find, we did that only once with the girl's birthday, did we go to a hotel, and I found it quite challenging, finding the entry, working out the key, working out where you are. When you're in a van, you get to really spend time looking at where you're going, and you're looking at the area, and you really have more because you have to, because you can work out where you're parking and blah blah blah. So you kind of get to know the area a bit more before you go there. Whereas with a hotel, you're spending more of your time looking at what's the hotel offering.
Yeah.
Where is the hotel specifically in relation to? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't.
Can I find a hotel near where I want to be for a sensible price?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's a cliche, a van life cliche, but you're literally driving your home to these places. So that aspect of it is stable, is consistent, and so that whatever trips you go out on, then you're coming back to your home.
Yeah. And it was interesting because when the children had that hotel, even though obviously they loved the experience, but they still were like, no, I much prefer being in the van. I was like, wow. Well.
You had a bit of room to spread out on the bed, but still fancied coming back to the van.
There was noises that they hadn't heard, because the window rattled, and those kind of things really shifted their sense of safety. So the van definitely provides that, which I'm really happy about. That we can, that choice did pay off.
Yeah.
I think of what I've definitely done, I was saying to you the other day, is I've numbed out to when we were rushing through Valencia, because I was like, I don't want to be driving in the middle of Valencia. I was saying to you, I think I've just numbed out to the experience of okay, well, you're in another country, literally, you would have taken somebody's arm for that. Be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I think we've, like I said before, we've kind of ruined holidays.
Yeah, that's the concept
for ourselves.
Yeah, we have, because we could park up by that cove, and we were there for 3 days or 2 days, and and also another example is when we were by that waterfall, and I just wanted to be there for ages. So we were there for about 4 or 5 days and we're at that place and then that's but like you'd have a week holiday and what you're just going to spend it next to one waterfall. It's just not the reality of what holiday normally is it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it can be like that, whatever you want it to be, it's your holiday. But now I don't feel like I've explored enough just within those few days.
You're saying like 2 weeks is never going to be enough.
No, and it felt like sometimes you felt 2 weeks in one place, because we did have a holiday in Thailand actually coming about this time last year. Actually, we went there, didn't we? Yeah, we would have flown out. We flew out just after Arlo's birthday. So yeah, it's coming up to the anniversary of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we did 2 weeks in one hotel, which was lovely. We didn't really see Thailand. We went on a couple of, we hired a guy for a day to take us around some beaches and things like that. But it wasn't really like you explored it, because you kind of go to one place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't get to experience the culture and this place like you can in a van, you know? And you get to drive through the scenery. That's the beauty of it. You really see it, the scenery.
So, yeah.
You're like, oh, well, and it's like when you were going through all those sunflower fields the other day, and suddenly you're in sunflower area. You're like, what? And
that's so random. Felt so random, didn't it?
but it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you're in your next place, and I think it has been interesting to know that it has paid off, and that was a choice that we didn't know that those were the things that were going to bring joy, but Vanlife felt like it was the reason we did Vanlife really was because it felt like the only way that was financially viable.
Yeah, it's interesting to see it from that perspective, that we weren't seeing it as an experience, as like gaining experience necessarily, but it just felt like from a financial, purely from like a logistical financial perspective, it was the thing that we had to do.
Yeah.
But we've done it, we're doing it now, and for us, like, the experiences, like those experiences that the children are gaining from doing it, I think has made it in itself, like, has made it worth it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, yeah, just really, you know, you get really uncomfortable days like today where it's like too hot and you don't want to turn on the fans because you're running down the ledge factory and that kind of thing. But overall, it's been a beautiful experience for us.
Yeah, definitely. I would never want to romanticize it, because it's not romantic in the fucking slightest.
No.
And I knew that going into it. It almost was like, how are we going to survive this period of our life? Because your mental health was so low. My mental health wasn't doing great. Financially, we were not doing great. You needed to shift your perspective work-wise. I knew that I wanted to shift my perspective work-wise, but I couldn't do that within the framework that I was in. And the children were home educated, but were not getting the experiences that I kind of wish that they were having. Seeing different people and having more trips and doing more things, because I was limited financially with what I could do with excursions. You know, if I saw, or clubs or whatever, if I saw a club that was £5 a head, that was an instant no. £5 for one child's not an issue. £5 for 3 children every week adds up.
Yeah.
So it felt like they weren't getting the full experience of home education, you know? Yeah. So this actually did provide that in a way that I didn't ever imagine it could. It was simply, we did it because we needed to survive this period and see what would happen from that. It's
certainly not a silver bullet for your mental health.
No.
Or
your finances, actually.
Yeah. The reality is that it's very much not. Because, you've got different problems that sort of, that can have a negative effect on you.
I just find it really interesting seeing like all those reels and all those people that are like, you want freedom, you want this, you want that, then this is what van life is, you know.
It's very much.
And you see like the drones of them like scanning their vans by the beach and and I don't know, like, I don't know if I feel what they're saying that van life gives you in its entirety. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if that's because we're in a 7.5 metre by 2.5 metre van with a cat, dog and 3 children.
It's definitely,
Or what? Do we need to be in some of those like big buses with the sofas and the TVs and then that's it? Is that the answer?
Nah, bollocks.
So I don't know.
You know,
I don't get it.
To me, that brings its own stress, because like, where the tits are you parking that?
I know. Well, they say they just park it and no problem. You know, you've met the bus guys. They're like, you know, I've had a tour of one with the guy, I can't remember what his name was, and he was just like, look at how amazing my bus is. And I think, well, you ain't just nipping that into Tesco very easy, are you?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, that feels more stressful to
Yeah,
me.
I mean, yeah, that we've had these conversations because we've met families who are like, well, we've done this, but now we're going to go bigger. And I'm like, okay, but what does that actually... Because think of the road situation, right? How many times, especially in Spain recently, we were talking about this, have we driven down a road and gone, oh, shit, that's 5.5 ton? And you can sort of nip down and go, right, let's go, because we're on it now and I can't see a nip round. And only if someone questions us, you know. But then if you're in a bus, well, you're obviously over 5.5 ton, you're obviously over 7.5 ton.
You're going to get looks.
You risk being pulled over
and then
easily.
The police, you know, potentially are gonna
And also there's a lot of the campsites and a lot of the parking are limited, and we have to miss quite a lot. Height restrictions, length restrictions.
Well, this is the thing. We literally went we saw one which we thought was like quite a nice little spot, but then you get there and you're like, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah, but that one was a dip down, and as shout out to the guy, what was his name? The Varios, because they say, oh, you got a lot of clearance on a Vario, and he said, yeah, but it's got dangling testicles, low balls, because it's
in the sump,
because the sump's so low, so you just don't risk going down.
So if you've not protected your sump, then it's tricky. It can be tricky.
Jasper said that.
Yeah.
It's got low hanging balls though.
Yeah, it is annoying that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is annoying.
It's like, does it have to be down there? But no, so you're talking about the one that had a dip. I was talking about one where it was like literally like a camper's getting in there, maybe like a small
when we
camper,
went there and we sort of got out and assessed it and we're like, I don't even understand what is fitting in here apart from a van.
Who's said that that's okay for us? Anyway, you know.
Yeah, I think the thing is...
I certainly don't think going bigger is the silver bullet to, you know, having more space. Yes, more space, but then the stress, like...
I don't know. I don't think there is an answer. I think you can always try and think there is. This is the problem with it, isn't it?
Each to their own.
What was next?
Well, I mean, if you put weather down here, but like...
Well, because I wanted just to make the point, I think we have made it before, that the thing that... This is because eventually we will talk about the limitations at some point with where we're thinking and blah, 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 but it's not for a now podcast. But the limitations within the van are clear. I have mentioned it within Europe, because you can drive your van to Morocco, or you can drive your van across to Turkey in the winter, or you can be in this area of the south of Spain and it's slightly warmer. But essentially, the weather is changing. Like, look, UK's had several heat waves over this last year already, and the UK is not cut out for 30-degree heat. Like, the houses are not, because we lived in a new build, so we understand, right? Those new builds, the insulation, because of the standards that they meet now, they are insane. That new build house was like living in an actual sauna in any level of heat, and you couldn't even open all the windows, could you, properly? They weren't wide open windows, again, for safety reasons. So they're building houses to a spec that doesn't help with that kind of heat.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at, you know, so we know that the countries are not cut out for this fluctuating heat. The rain, like the heavy rain that they had in the south of this area at the beginning of this year and the end of last year, the flooding. That guy gave us a fact in Spain, that Irish guy that we met. He said that he had a friend in construction in Spain, and what was it? It was like 6,000 or 8,000 kilometres of road was destroyed during the floods this year. I mean, that's insane. Just in this area. Yeah, so this is my point. Like,
it's definitely it's definitely climate change is having. Well, it's definitely a thing. For a start, I'm putting it out there.
Oh, don't let Trump hear you. thing right is that then when you're driving your van, you're trying to find the places that bring you the weather that you need, or you just suck it up and go, well, I'm going to do like the van that stays in Scotland. Cheaper, that would be, first of all. Easier. And but you have to put up with the weather.
Yeah, you have to put up with like soggy boots and inside your van, or that kind of thing.
So it is, especially with 3 children in and out of the van.
Yeah, it's tricky. Man.
It's and a dog or whatever. Like it's tricky. It's like difficult to find, and Europe's weather is so fluctuating. It's a lot. So I'm saying that the van doesn't solve the weather problem.
Yes,
Is what I'm saying.
necessarily.
Yeah.
No, because you can't, like we've discussed, you can't really get that. You can't really go far enough to get like that winter sun.
No.
Like guaranteed winter sun.
Guaranteed. Because you can also do what people say, which is they get their vans to the islands. But again, because of the Schengen, this is the other issue, because then of Schengen, you can't drive down to those areas and have enough time to value the cost of the ferry to those islands for winter sun, because you have to go get back now because my time's up.
Talking about Scotland, so like the original goal with the van life was, we'll do it for a bit and then look to buy some land, maybe up north in Scotland or something like that, and like try and do some kind of small build or something like that. I think you've kind of realised the realities of that in terms of, like you say, like the weather.
Yep.
You're not sure that you would be able to deal with that. Also, the actual, like, a small build, even the smallest small build is expensive. It's not like, there's not really a way to do it on the cheap. You kind of have to, and then you are kind of back in the system, if you like, of, potentially like a mortgage or that kind of thing. So we're kind of gone off that idea for now, and we're kind of like, for now we're like, well, let's just see how far we can take this van life thing, and see how we go with that. And then we don't know.
We don't have the answer. We have an answer, which we will share at some point. But right now we're going to explore another year of van life.
Yeah.
Because we really want to go to certain areas that we haven't seen in Europe and take the children.
So we just want to, we want to, while we've got the van and while the children are young enough that we kind of all fit in the van.
Yeah.
We want to just, do that and squeeze all the experience points out of having it.
There's a place called The Field. It's not a real field, but it kind of is. It's where nomestia sends something to you in the post. A real thing you can hold. Not everyone gets one, just the people in the field. It costs a little bit because real things do, but that's how you get to be in it. You can find the link to the field in the podcast link, or email us if you can't find it. The field is open.
One of the things that when we were doing the van life is, we were like under this impression, and you get it from Instagram and that kind of thing, is that, or like from Facebook, from the groups, that there's like all these families travelling around. And you're like, oh yeah, the socialisation will be great for the children. We'll be next to families all the time and they'll be making new friends all the time. It's just not been, don't get me wrong, I mean, we have definitely had plenty of that, and whenever we see another young family, we always try and encourage the children, let's go say hello, even if there's like a language barrier.
Yeah.
Because you always, even if they can't speak the language, they can always play together.
It's amazing, me speaking French like to that little boy the other day, and I was like, I can't remember to say, what's your name?
Yeah.
Fuck me. And then the boy's looking at me like, huh?
Yeah, because you said it. I can't remember what you said, but you're like saying to me, that's it, isn't it? And you were like,
come on,
just say,
come on, Sapat.
Yeah, you were like just saying like a complete nonsense phrase. And I was like, I mean, you can give that a go, but that's certainly
no, but
not
I'd already
it.
done it.
Yeah.
So that's why the boy looked at me.
Papel.
Come on, Sapal, I said. Come on, Twitter pal.
Yeah.
No, come on, Twitter pal.
Yeah, well, that is it, but it certainly wasn't what you were. Certainly wasn't what
Come on, Sapal. Fuck it out. He looked at me like. Anyway, I was like, do you want to dig a hole with my son?
Yeah,
Easy.
exactly. The international language of play works every time. We've met children from all different countries and it works. And we always make sure that our children understand as well that a lot of the children, they want to speak English. And so a lot of the children we meet, they do have like quite good English.
blessed they are, is what we say to them.
Yeah, exactly. They are privileged to learn a language that, you know, in general, a lot of people in the world want to speak. But yeah, it's just there just hasn't been as much of that as we would have hoped.
No. Again, it's the what's the term when it's like when you didn't think it was actually going to Brexit and then we did. Because you're in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And so the echo chamber of like, we must have been in an echo chamber of the small...
loads of families.
Yeah.
Families.
Yeah.
In reality, maybe 20.
Oh, yeah, honestly.
That's what it feels like. It's
yeah,
like,
I mean,
feels
honestly.
like in reality 20, but then they're spread all over Europe.
Yeah.
So like if you meet one, then yeah, lucky. But yeah.
Living is what we're referring to. We're not talking about those in holiday.
Yes.
We're talking about, because there's a big difference, which we've spoken about, children who live and want to, and instantly want to try and make friends with other children, and those who don't. So they've met some really beautiful children along the way. There's a couple that stand out for me, but like the whole general vibe is like mostly the older generation who live in vans, which do not like children mostly. So that's been really tough, actually.
Yeah, it has been tough. Yeah. And obviously we've had, we've talked about many examples of, where the children have not been particularly welcomed.
It's better now we don't park at camp. We now just don't park at
yeah,
campsites.
we're doing much more.
Onto.
Yeah, we're doing a lot more of that. The goal for Vanlife was to be spending less in general. And the reality is that, yes, we probably are spending less, but, is it that much less?
It's less than having a house, because you've not got those outgoings. So the freedom that everybody talks about are things like you're not paying your council tax.
Yes.
You're not paying a water bill, but you might have to pay for water sometimes, especially the UK.
Yes.
You're not paying for your mortgage, but you are paying for your insurance on a van that the insurance company's sniffing out that you're living in. So they're three times in that.
It.
Yeah. Or you're risking them not paying you anything if anything happens.
Yeah.
So don't bullshit me.
Yeah.
The other thing is you're paying for diesel or petrol, whatever your van's running on, mostly diesel. And because you're on the move often, well, that adds up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's heavy. So that adds up.
Yeah, our van, she's a thirsty girl.
She's as thirsty as the bongo.
Yeah.
I've said this to people. She's really economical because because the engine doesn't rev like a sprinter. She's really economical, really.
For what she is.
For what she is. Like, she's 7.5 ton up to truck. And I think we can get quite a good mile per gallon from her, but it adds up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing is, the reality of it is food.
Yeah.
That's the biggest outlay for us.
It is, yeah. It's just to me, because I'm like the main sort of person who's doing the food side and like trying to think about the food thing. Yeah, it's like, it's constant, man. With our children particularly, they're like growing children and they're just like constant.
I know. Because you slip into the habits of the country that you're in. So it's easy to slip into snacking. So, you buy the fruit, but okay, let's give a good example is like we bought a kilo of cherries, which are local Spanish cherries, €4.90.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
2 days.
Yeah.
As well as a packet of nectarines, cheap, like €3, gone. 2 days.
Yeah.
Then they have a loaf of bread, which is now gluten-free for them, which is a pile of shit.
£2.
But like at least
something.
€2
€2
something, like €3.
Yeah.
And that's then without a meal. So a chicken, or we have steak because we have more high protein. Eggs. We've just run out of eggs. We only bought them 2-3 days ago. We were at the shop 2 days ago, weren't we, Carl? Yeah. And then that's outside of they might have some Greek yogurt. So that's our kind of general diet. And so it's better stuff, but it's supposed to satiate for longer. But at the same time, there's 3 of them plus us. And so the amount of money that we end up spending adds up, on food. And the other thing is like we used to bake quite a lot in the house. So we would bake like a flapjack or like a load of muffins or whatever. That's
I
not
used
possible.
to dedicate, quite often Sunday was my bake day, and I used to, do at least a couple of bakes just to try and get through the week, just
Yes.
for stuff to put in there, sort of pack lunches and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so
when
like
you're going on your trips and
yeah,
that.
exactly. But we can't easily do that because the oven, it does use a lot of electricity when you're off grid. So then it's the balance of, will you then go and pay a campsite to plug in so that you can use the oven?
Yeah.
But then when you're doing that, the cost of the campsite, which we'll come on to, is just astronomical versus buying a few more snacks. So it's like, what do you want to spend the money on?
Yeah, I mean, the campsites, in Morocco, like €10 a night. Keep going back to that villa example.
Yeah, that wasn't €10. That was less than that.
Yeah.
That was like €7 a night.
Yeah, it was ludicrously cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then, obviously, in reality, where we are now on the continent, in the sort of around the high season, it's more like 40 to,
80, 90 euro a night.
Yes, it just seems bizarre.
The thing is that, again, like nobody is really mentioning often, is that when you have children, they charge you per head. So 3 children then is astronomical. They'll literally say, like I said to you, didn't I? I said to you yesterday, I was emailing one outside Sitges just before, before that, town before that, because I was like, oh, for my birthday, maybe we'll park up there and then we'll park up in a nice campsite, because we don't do that. And then it said on Park for Night, it was €20, €20.
Okay.
And I was like, that's all right.
Yeah.
But it didn't say per head or anything like that. So, we've many times we've learnt our lesson. You do not turn up to a campsite without checking if it's per head.
Yes.
Because sometimes they stand there. Some people say they get away with it with children. They say, well, you just don't stay. It's like, I've got 3 of them.
Yeah.
They're not quiet.
Yeah.
They will notice.
Yeah.
So they emailed. He said, how many people? I thought, fuck you. So
Here we go.
he's going to, all right.
Here we
So
go.
I said, came back, €56.
Yeah.
So without children,
Yeah.
€20.
Yeah.
With 3
It
children,
doubles it up, yeah.
€56. Not just double, that's almost, well, that's adding on double in a bit.
Yeah.
So then another one I saw the other day, I said to you, what a joke. This one's €80 a night, and it was €10 for the dog.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Oh my God, yeah.
€10
a night.
for the dog.
For the dog.
For the dog.
Like, literally what we were spending in Morocco for all of us.
Yeah.
For, like, a nice place with a swimming pool.
I've seen her though, that dog. She luxuriates in the showers.
Yeah.
She's always in the swimming pools.
Yeah. Drinking all their water.
Yeah.
Using all their facilities.
She's always on the bog.
Yeah. Honestly. It is ridiculous, isn't it?
I don't run a campsite, so maybe I don't understand it. But I will say this: if I ran a campsite, your dog would be free, mate. I never tell them I've got a cat.
Yeah.
Because like, I've done that. Haven't we done that before?
Yeah,
And we're like,
yeah.
and then they sort of look. And this has happened in the UK, and they're like, "Who's that cat belong to?" And we're like, "Oh, yeah." Just sort of like say really
don't
neutral.
don't even mention it.
What, that cat that's coming in now? Don't know, mate. I've never seen it before in my life. It's got a tracker on it. Nope. We'll backtrack
No
it back
idea.
to its owner then. But the campsites are a problem in the UK because because we need water. Sometimes the only option is to go, because they won't. So some campsites just do services, but many of them don't.
Yeah, so for example, they'll allow you to empty and take on water.
Yeah, but
for a small fee.
yeah, but that's not common. I think people are working out that they'd rather just people pay to park there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are where souls go to die. So I don't really want to park there anyway. So you can keep your €80.
We were going to talk about, I don't know, Park for Night, a little bit about Park for Night.
I got a great comment the other day. It was on my phone.
Did you,
I screenshotted that.
which,
That one that, what was it on? Anyway, talk about Park for Night. People might not know what the app is if they don't.
yeah, so basically if you're doing Vanlife, Park for Night, I mean, there are other apps, but Park for Night seems to be like the front runner in terms of that. But it's the app where you can find either campsites or wild park ups where people have added them. It's like community. It's built around the community, basically, isn't it? So people add them themselves, and then you can find places on the map, and then there's reviews and that kind of thing.
It's really great if you, not just for vans, but like if you want to just go and park somewhere in nature and want a nice spot.
Yeah, genuinely, like if
you can get a free version, you don't have to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it should be. I mean, more people should use it in terms of that, like just finding if you want somewhere nice to have a walk or something.
Yeah,
or
it's
like
great.
That kind of thing. Like, oh, where would I park the thing?
Because you can check because the comments on there really allow you to check in with the safety, so of leaving your car. So if you read a comment with "my window is smashed in and all my bags were stolen," well then you know not to park your car there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's handy, and yet those reviews are not necessarily on Google Maps.
Yes, exactly.
So you can cross-reference. It's really we cross-reference. It's very useful.
It is useful for that.
Yeah.
I just wish, because we are paying for it.
What is it? £10 a year, innit?
Yeah, but they're getting money off us now. It's just very glitchy, isn't it?
It's poor.
Yes, on the one hand, it is very, very. It's like the most useful resource that you have, but like we feel like they just have not invested in the app much. It just feels very glitchy. It feels like, it feels like some of the symbols that they use, they're just not moderated. So like people, because like I say, it's like reliant on the people to do it. So it's kind of like Wikipedia when people are adding the thing, but it's like it just doesn't feel like it's moderated particularly.
Even though it says
stringently.
it is, it says it's administered moderated.
People using like the wrong symbol, so you click on a symbol thinking it's like a free thing, but it's like not that. It's like it's a campsite or it's a it just doesn't feel like it's moderated stringently enough.
All the good free ones are not on there as well because people know not to put them on there.
Exactly.
So either people don't add the good ones, so you have to ask people locally, like people who are in a van, at a good one. You know that they've got that vibe, and you go. So I go. So and I have to start talking to some Nigel from Germany. That was the other day, wasn't it?
It was because it was when we were in that free air.
Yeah.
And then people kept just rocking up and using the services and then going elsewhere.
We're like, where are they going?
Where are they going? Where are they going? They know. Because they were like mainly Spanish people, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were like, we need to follow them.
I know.
Like, follow them. They know the wild spots.
It's annoying. But then what we've found is that it does not interact well with Google Maps.
It's really difficult to cross-reference.
You want to know, I've parked here in this town here. Where is that on? Okay, go to Google Maps. Oh, but then there's this car park. Oh, why is that not on Park for Night? Okay, let's go back into Park. No. Okay, I'm on Park for Night. Where is that town? What? And then you go, right. Okay, where was that car park that I favorited? Right, go on favorites. Okay, and then it goes, zoop, zooms out of the whole fucking world with all your favorites of that. Right.
Glitchy.
Okay, so now I've got to zoom back in and find that town. Where was that town? Okay, I found that town. No, I've forgotten the fucking name because it's in Spanish and I don't remember the name. Go back to go. It's like some kind of sick joke, quite frankly.
Trying to refer between them,
And then you go, let's use Waze. Shout out to Waze. Love Waze. It's great, except if you want a route plan. Except if you want to just type in the name of somewhere, it is not good.
We want to, like, Waze, we love you, Waze, but like you need to just make it easier to route plan. Annoyingly, you then have to sort of default to Google Maps because then that is easier for route planning.
It's like the other day we were at that car park, like 2 days. We went to Carrefour the other day, so we were about to leave. I said, I haven't got it up. I never do. I can't be asked. I get it up and then I'm like, right, type in Carrefour. So I try to be organised. I typed in Carrefour, which should be literally 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
Its first one on Google Maps was 6 hours away.
Yeah.
Right.
Google Maps, why are you doing that? Like, if we're typing a specific supermarket name, why are you not just showing us like the closest one? Because that's obviously the one where we want to go.
I don't want to go to the one in Sweden.
Or,
when I'm in Spain.
It's like,
Funnily enough.
Can we just... so, annoyingly, none of these apps, in of themselves, do the trick. So you have to kind of use a combination of them. It's kind of like Parkfornight for finding places to stay, Google Maps for planning routes or finding stuff like supermarkets and that kind of thing, and then Waze for actually
When you're en route.
for an actual sat nav, like an old school sat nav, like your TomTom or whatever.
But none of them are those apps, apart from I tried them and I thought, no mate, sorry, looks way worse. Cope with a van that's 7.5 ton and over and 3.5 metre wide.
None of the apps have you got so for example, if you're on Google Maps, you can turn off tolls so you don't go down a toll road.
Yeah.
Okay. What we want, Google Maps, if you're listening.
Yeah. Shout out to Google.
Shout out to Google Maps or Waze. Maybe you could get in on this Waze.
I think it's an in.
Parkfornight. No, just stick what you're doing, Parkfornight.
Just do it better.
Google Maps, Waze. Weight limits.
I mean, come on.
Height limits.
Come on.
Can we sort of input our vehicle details and then you can base routes around that, surely, in this day and age?
The number of times... Oh, that was it the other day when we went down those narrow streets. I've done that several times.
Yeah.
But I did that, to come here.
Yeah.
I ended up, I was like, this is lovely, go along the seafront.
And then...
I was like, by someone's pizza, looking down at them, like, all right,
and it's like, turn right here, and you're like, ooh, I don't think... I probably won't turn right here, no.
Me, they're all there having their evening tapas, like going past, like literally like right next to them. They're all looking at me, and I'm like...
us, yeah.
And I was like, look, we've all got problems, mate.
Yeah.
I admit this was not the ideal route.
Also, Google Maps and Waze, AI is not touching any of this shit, okay? AI for travel details or routes or anything like that is absolute bollocks, okay? So you're fine in terms of that. AI not coming close to you, mate. So let's at least just try and up your game, yeah? Do what you're doing, yeah? But just up it.
You know, because then I got that Mind.ai app, and I thought, all right, just use...
Oh, yeah, like an AI app that specialises
just for travel. Wow. It's shit.
That's what I mean. Like, travel agents, shout out.
Oh, yeah.
You're fine for now in terms of AI, because AI ain't got shit on a human being.
You go, right, I'm going to this... This is what it does. You go to AI... Because I use Claude, and I use Gemini, and I use ChatGPT and cross-reference between the three. So I know my way around now. And so then you say, I'm going to this area, and then can you plan me a route between here and here with the to see these like water whatever and like make sure. And then you look at it, and it sent you 4 hours the wrong way, mate.
Yeah, and then you do the
put
thing
it in, you go, what the fuck are you sending me there for?
And then you do the thing where you go back to AI and you say, well, that's obviously rubbish. And they're like, sorry, I was obviously having a bit of a, funny moment there. How about this? No, that's wrong as well. How about this? No, that's wrong as well. Do you know what? Just go and do what you're doing. It's fine. So
because on Claude, because I now pay for it for co-working, I got it to do it on a map the other day. So I said, literally build the widget with me, with the app, with the map app. Still couldn't do it, mate.
Yeah, no, it's bollocks. So that's what I'm saying. Google Maps, Waze, you're still way ahead on this. Yeah, AI is not coming close. The last thing, my last rant about Parkfornight is the lack of photos.
Oh my god!
It's like, why are you only allowing? I mean, how many photos are allowed per place?
I don't get it, because sometimes I swear it's more, but like sometimes it's like 5 photos limit kind of vibe, and it's of like
yeah, and you're relying and you're like,
right?
Oh mate, can we just do a bit better moderation of the photos as well?
The other thing the final thing I'd like to say about AI, about Parkfornight, which I do enjoy, are the comments and the rant at a certain Vanlife
nationality. Let's say.
Yeah. And the other day I thought, this is a first. I saw that nationality ranting about their nationality.
Yeah.
It's when it says, when it says, but it says, but as usual, it's only the insert who have pulled up the awnings of their camper van, set up chairs and tables, and I'm ashamed of this behaviour, which will, and this is my favourite bit, which will ultimately penalise everyone. So we've notified the Guardia Civil. So you've not only complained about your
own nationality,
but you've even notified the fucking police on your own
literally
nationality.
dobbing them in. Wow. I mean, I love that commitment to, you're like, no, mate.
And then I knew it was that nationality, dobbing in their own nationality because of the language that it was in.
Yeah. It's funny, honestly. It's brilliant.
So it's basically it's a bashing of that nationality on Part for Night apps.
Generally it is like,
and we all know who that is.
yeah,
Innit?
honestly.
The ones with the trailers, as per usual.
Nobody else is getting panned as much as they are. What can you do? What can you do? I mean, the British ain't all that. Let's be perfectly frank.
No.
But honestly,
we were at that part with the one with the bays that we were talking about, and then we parked up and we were like, we're really careful with like keeping ourselves in as much as possible.
Not
but then that nationality, there was a family. They turned up. Table check. You even thought they put a blow-up mattress out and were sleeping
they were
on
sleeping outside. They were like,
whatever.
It was not a parking situation. It was definitely a camping situation.
It's just so ridiculous.
Honestly.
Okay. What?
Yeah, sorry. We've done all that. Like, that's because that's a major part of the reality of van life, is those things, like
so
using
tough.
those apps.
It's
and
really
it's
tough,
man.
And I have the paper map, right?
Yeah.
Which shout out to the 80s who only had a paper map and didn't have an app.
Shout out to a Michelin map or whatever.
And I love it. I get it out and I can get more clarity. But unless you're getting a walking app, unless you're getting the, like, what do you call those, the maps that are like then focused in on an area with like your picnic table. Unless you're getting an OS map.
Exactly, you're not.
So we're not going to get an OS map for the whole of frickin' Spain, are you? So then maybe I should just live more by the seat of my pants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not with 3 children, you can't.
If you like listening to Nomestia, please subscribe and leave a review. It helps more people to find us.
I think one thing that you don't get a lot of on the Instagram van life is shit and piss talk.
It's just what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah. It's, it is the reality of it that you have to just deal with your own. I mean, do you miss that though? Being able to just like flush a loo and just...
No, I don't actually. I really love my compost loo. I've started
You're
before.
obsessed.
I'm obsessed with my compost loo. Something just very nice about it.
What I didn't like was spending over $1,000 on a toilet. That's what I wasn't into. But what I do like is the fan that's in it. I think all toilets should have a fan.
It's
like
amazing that.
Like, brilliant. Like, just sending out the bad smell constantly. But yeah, many as a time that I've walked across an air or something, and either I've been holding a bag of shit or a bucket of piss. Not a bucket, like a container of piss. And yeah, like the other day I was like talking to someone, and someone was helping me out with directions, and I was like, all the while I was just like holding a bag of shit. And I was like, oh, I'd quite like to end this conversation, because in the heat, in the black bin bag, it's sort of starting to cook up a bit and starting to get a bit more flavoursome. Yeah, it's tough. And the one thing that nobody tells you is about the grey water.
So, what? Our grey water? Oh,
just in general, grey water.
Yeah, just your hand washing water.
Yeah,
in
just
a
like
thing.
just like the water that comes back out your tap. That in general, you would think is relatively clean. Like, unless you've done the washing up in it.
Which we don't, because we do it in a thing and then we tip it out for a plant.
But then it's absolute, like, when you empty it, the smell of it is like...
It's so
absolutely vile, isn't it?
And then you drive, when it's empty, if you don't, like, put stuff down, the waft in the van is, like, so extreme that we're all, like, gagging. We're like, what is that because when it started happening, because when it was new, obviously that didn't happen, and it was like a few weeks in, and we're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's our own hand washing water.
Yeah. Bizarre though, isn't it? How much it smells. That's genuinely like one of the biggest things. Like, why does it smell so much?
The one thing you were going to mention was that because we saw it the other day when we were just sitting outside the van, it's the guy.
It's the old boys, because it's always a man's job, and it's fine. It's fine.
It's true.
You
I
do
don't
not ever see a lady doing it, do you?
You don't actually like the men just crack on.
It's always the men doing it, and they're trundling across
literally with the trundle.
Yeah, with their container of shit containers. And I said to you, you were like, oh, you quite enjoyed that when I said to you, it's almost like a bit of a dance that they do when they're swilling it out, because there's like each side, and they're like swilling it. They're getting every single little bit of shit out of that thing. They're using the water, and they're getting their money's worth, and they're like, I'm going to get this as clean as possible.
So disgusting.
Yeah, it's just the reality of it. But yes, we are glad of the compost toilet, I think.
Versus that.
Versus like a chemical
Also,
lid.
because those fuckers sometimes just put it in the countryside, and it's really bad.
No, it's genuinely not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
And then the thing I was saying about that time when we were in Morocco.
Yeah.
And we were parked up in that place where everyone really shouldn't have been. And then I was standing talking to that British young couple in their van, and then that drain thing was lifted up.
Oh,
and
my
they left
God,
it lifted.
Yeah.
Someone didn't put it back. And then they trundle in and they're pouring it down there.
Nobody put the drain back.
Yeah, and it was just stank. And I was like,
oh, mate.
This is a whole new reality. This is the low.
It's tricky. It's a tricky part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, van life definitely ain't a silver bullet for your mental health. I think we've found with the children, and certainly with our relationship, the sort of the proximity and the lack of escape means that, you know, everything gets brought to the surface. You can't sort of numb out, you can't sort of get away with numbing out issues and that kind of thing. Like you said, you've said before when you were talking to Lang for Adventure, basically you're always, you know, van life is only as good, no, the mood in the van is only as good as I can't remember what the phrase is. Do you remember what the phrase is? It's
no. But yeah, normally if someone's in a right funk, it does affect the rest of us.
Yeah, it's tricky. And so you do have to it does force you to confront these things. It forces you to confront your mental health, I think, I've found.
Well, you found, yeah.
Yeah, very much so. And, you know, our relationship, it's really, really sort of made us think about that and how we are with each other, and how we resolve things and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's been tough. But, I mean, ultimately, like we said, I think it will make our relationship stronger. But yes, it's difficult. It's been difficult.
Yeah, we will speak about some of it, but we're not ready to talk about.
No, because we're still in the midst of it, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not anywhere near as what it was, but it's been. I think that's why van life will always have its end point for us, because I always definitely feel like I need more space, and the children are going to get to a point where shout out to those who just keep going with it, but I genuinely wonder whether, and that's why you don't see so many children in vans, is whether they have a house that they go back to, or some kind of respite, because you know, being on it the whole time where you don't get your own space. I mean, they've done amazingly well. I mean, the girls, they this is the thing, when you don't have a choice, it's different. It's like when they're in their home, they would all go into Arlo's double bed. We joked about it only yesterday. They would always be in Arlo's double bed, even when we redecorated their bedrooms so that they were more their age appropriate, but they're all in his bed. So we were always joking that being in the van, being close proximity wouldn't be a big deal for them, but they don't have a choice to go anywhere else. They have to be in this like proximity with each other. And that's 3 children, very, very, very close in age. I mean, there's only 22 months apart from all 3 of them. And it's a lot. And we've navigated this dance up and down this tiny corridor. In the morning, I get up before you, so I can crack on with my work, and then you can get up and then you can do your coffee and put your granules and flow them around the van. I don't know what you do. Is that what you do? Like confetti.
Coffee granules are tricky, aren't they?
Then then the children will get up and then they want to brush their teeth, but there are then those moments where everybody wants to like do something, and you're like, that can't happen, so one of you's gonna have to go over there and one of you's gonna have to go over there. And there's the outdoor space, but your toothbrush,
exactly. You want to get something, can you just come out the way so I can just open that cupboard?
Oh yeah, sorry. And then the dog's lying by the toilet. So you have to move the dog out, then the dog moves by the fridge door and you want to go in the fridge. And so this dance that we're existing in is like this very delicate balance that hangs in the air the whole time until one person gets in the wrong place. And then you fuck the whole balance.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're just not in the mood for that.
If you're just not.
And, the children, and also us, to be fair, like, some days you just like, get out the fucking way, please, just get out the way.
It's like yesterday, we decided we needed a slow day because we'd had a busy weekend for Arlo's birthday, and you were having what would be called in Spain a siesta, and I came on my period, and I was just sitting there like watching you, thinking, I really just need to crawl into that bed.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'm going anywhere near you.
I don't want Annie to be anywhere near. I don't want Annie to be on me, with me in the...
On me? No.
I don't want Annie to be with me in the bed.
Don't touch me. Don't come near me.
It's too hot.
It's hot. I'm hot. I'm internally hot. And I was like, just sitting here like in pain thinking, it's going to pass. And then you woke up and I was like, can you just get out of the bed so I can get in the bed?
Yeah.
And like that's tough, and then of course then you deal with somebody's low mood, and the other few days Paloma's been struggling with getting any sleep, so then she is dysregulated as fuck when she doesn't get enough sleep,
exactly.
And she impacts everybody, and everybody's having to internalize. You have to internalize somebody else's discomfort, and you have to sit with that and hold it while trying to tend to yourself in this very small space. I'm not sure how people do it long term.
No.
Without either brushing everything under the carpet.
Yep.
Or having to make sure that you really are bringing everything to the surface and you're really tending to it. And the latter, is really, really tough and involves a lot of resilience and a lot of acknowledgement and a lot of time. So my question is, and it's always something that I sit with and think about, because this happens whether in your house or in a van, it's like, how many of these van life people that are sharing all these wonderful van life things are actually hiding the fact that their relationship's a pile of shit, but they're just romanticising it through look at this view? In it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I want to know what really happened. If you're sharing your life,
you want to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah, I'm like, because how are you surviving that? And that is a survival sometimes. It's not a thrive, it's sometimes a survival.
Yeah.
How are you surviving that close proximity to each other at all time, on 24/7?
Being with each other like that.
Yeah.
For that amount of time.
And genuinely thriving in it. To the degree that you're sharing that you're thriving in it.
Particularly if you have children. I still maintain children, make it much more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, I don't really understand it.
But the thing is that I have these tools and I have this awareness and these tools because of, the amount of money. Apparently you can spend quite a lot of money on tending to yourself, and, this kind of toolbox that I utilise for myself and for them, and you've taken on, and you've had a lot of coaching. We've had psychotherapy in the van. You've had coaching in the van, one-to-one coaching, and that's the level that it actually takes, and that's not even enough necessarily. So if you're not tending to so for me, the pyramid of van life and like being in this journey and being in this is not where are we going or what experiences are we going to have. It's how are we tending to our emotional selves, our souls, and then what are we doing around that? Because to enjoy the view, to enjoy this experience, to enjoy that drive, you have to have yourself in that emotional stable place where you're not projecting your shit onto somebody else, where you're not internalizing and then finding yourself in this like spiral of I am in a real fight or flight place right now, you know. I am highly in the sympathetic and there's nothing I can do about it until that person has soothed their nervous system and lands in some kind of shift. Until they shift, I can't shift. Okay, well, that person won't shift until you shift and hold it. Okay, well, then you're going to have to do your own work around that. Okay, but what does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that... Okay, but also the weather's shit. Or, okay, it's too cold, too hot, too wet, too... So this is what
There's ants. Mozzies. No.
This is what I mean. This is why this is what I'm
it's
talking
it constantly feels like it's such a delicate balance.
It's an ecosystem.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, one thing falls out of place and it can just, you know, fall apart a bit for everyone's mental health. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a very interesting thing, and like, again, not something that people talk about enough in terms of the van life thing.
No.
I think it is tough. Like, it's constantly say, like, we're constantly doing this disclaimer. What we're doing is not easy.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is not escaping the system. It's just, it's just something that we've chosen to do as a stopgap, basically.
It's to shake shit up. It's to force yourself to look at what you're dealing with.
To not sort of, to not fall into the trap of like that mundanity of every day.
When we're talking about the constantly on the move, it adds the element of dysregulation. And
absolutely.
The children feel it as well. And I spoke about that when I did the YouTube video the other day. So it's like when you're constantly moving forward, it's a constant moving feeling. It's like, what's next, what's coming, and that's what children in school really struggle with, because if you take away every distraction, which is easy to fall into, but if you take away iPad, or I don't know if your child has a phone or whatever, and you take away everything out of their vicinity, and they're generally a school child, this does happen, particularly so for children who are in school, because what happens is that then they have to sit with the uncomfortable feeling of nothing's moving, nothing's happening, nothing's doing. And so when you're in that, you have to land and you have to sort of feel yourself, your body, in that moment of pause. And, you know, I've done a 10-day Vipassana. So if no one knows what it is, but it's like a 10-day silent course where you have to stay in silence and, you know, and it's noble silence. You can't look at anyone. Anyway, I watched lots of people drop out during that week because it's not as easy as it looks to sit in that pause. And so when a school child's in it, because in a school system, in the classroom, you have to fit so much in. So you're next, what's next? And the children will always say, what are we doing later? What's next? And they know that there's always something, you know, it's like we're in maths, in English, it's playtime, lunchtime, school stops. And then when you see children at the school gates, there's often some child have an actual mental breakdown, because then they're out of that. And then it's like, where's my snack? What are we doing now? Where are we going now? And the parent might say, well, we're just going home now. And they'll be like, but that's not, I need a next,
we're chilling.
a next.
Calm.
Yeah.
Just chill.
And so what happens is that your body, your system, your nervous system gets used to that constant doing, the constant forward motion. And to then drop that feels a lot. So when you're in the van, you're constantly moving in this way, and you have to allow yourself to unravel at times and pause, because without that, then your system feels wired and you're not able to truly tend to what's coming up outside of that movement.
Yeah.
Because when you stop the movement, then you sit with what's coming up, and that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, why people do a lot of movement in van life. What's next? What's coming? Because it enables them to bypass, not consciously necessarily.
Yeah, absolutely.
But bypass the feeling of, what is the reality? What is our reality? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it's like almost that we've swapped, that kind of constant school thing.
Yeah.
And we've kind of swapped in, we're just constantly moving in the van.
Yeah. So,
To try and, like you say, like you're doing it, not necessarily consciously, but you're like doing it to keep things moving. Because so many times, like for example now, I'm like, God, I wish we'd stayed in that other place longer, because you come to this place and you're like, you're not as close to the beach, or the beach isn't as nice, or there's not such a good access to water or whatever. Constantly I'm like, I wish we'd stayed in that other place just a couple more days, just to try and sort of bed in a little bit more.
But the issue is that you can't, because the van needs a run because of the battery, or you run out of food, and that's not accessible. Exactly. So you always, at some point, you will have to move in the van. That's the problem, unless you got one of these motorbikes.
And again, like we said, like that in itself is just not easy, just like being constantly on the move.
No, and so I love it when we pause for longer, which we do actively do, to allow for that unravelling and to be in that pause. And we definitely do that a lot more than I think some might do. But still, that feeling of you have to constantly be on the move is like, I just don't want to move for a week.
It is quite hard work, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite hard work. To conclude, what's van life given you? Naomi, what has van life given you?
Van life has given me a much needed, outside of the movement, pause from my work that was like constantly trying to make money to survive it. So that it's like, I'll take on that client even if that client doesn't necessarily align for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm financially in that moment of like, there hasn't been much income.
Yeah.
And I needed to be and wanted to be more picky about people who worked with me.
Yeah.
So then it was like, now I've chosen to not work with anyone and financially be in a very different position, but allow myself to create what I want to create. And the van life has given me that ability to pause.
Yes.
And be with what really aligns for me in my life and what I want my life to look like. So it's easy to buy another house somewhere else and say, okay, that's the answer, that's the move location. And I was like, we could have done that. We could have been like, let's just go to Portugal or Spain or whatever. But like, you keep asking me about Spain, and I'm like, no, I don't want to live here, actually. But that could have been what it was. It's like just a quick decision of, well, let's just do this next.
Yeah.
But it's allowed me to really sit with the decisions of what I want my life to look like, work-wise, physically, location-wise, and all of that.
I think it was a good decision to do the van life, because yes, like you say, it is giving us time to think more about what we actually want from life.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically, I mean, it sounds like very over the top, but yes.
No, genuinely, like, I don't think I would know what I want if it wasn't for this journey.
Yeah.
110%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about for you?
I just feel generally like much more cultured, because I studied languages at university and I did a year abroad in Barcelona, but I still feel like even in that time I didn't do enough to explore. For example, in Spain, I could have just hopped on a train. I could have come to like some of these places that we're visiting now, but I just didn't. At that point, it just wasn't. Just obviously wasn't in my psyche to do that. But I just feel much more travelled now, and just feel like I've had much more experiences, than I would have done otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, we'll leave it there then, shall we? Thank you so much for listening, as ever. Thank you so much.
Nomestia.